Hi there, and welcome to the Rangers News YouTube channel. It's Jordan Carlisle here alongside Cammy Willis.
How you doing?
And James Black.
Hello, hello.
So, decent weekend, lads?
Oh, it was good.
Anything decent? Anything big up?
It's not too bad, aye.
Not too bad. Something down at Parkhead, I think.
Oh, stunning scenes, man.
Stunning scenes. First victory away at Celtic in 9 years, and thoroughly deserved after a bit of a roasting earlier in the month with the League Cup final. Pulled through goals from Ryan Kent and Nico Katic. Just what's your initial thoughts coming out of this?
I mean, before the match, I was actually kind of quietly confident. Because of the way that we've played against Celtic, just in the second half of last season and at the start of this season, in the first three matches, we just haven't had the luck. And I always thought it wasn't a question of ability, more about mentality. And I think after that final, the kind of pain that we had from that, we knew that we'd played them off the park. We knew that man for man we can match them in a lot of positions. We're a better team, and that's not to say Celtic aren't a good team, because they are a good team, and that kind of bigs up the achievement of going there and winning as well. But from the off, you could see that their players have a kind of, I don't know, like a kind of fear almost towards Rangers. And from the very first minute, they only looked as if there was going to be one winner, and it was going to come down to whether or not we could put the ball in the back of the net, and we did, and it was brilliant.
James?
A step towards the natural order being restored. A long time coming. Outplayed them for the vast bulk of that. There was like a wee spell at the end of the first half, a spell in the second where they kind of looked like they might do something, but other than that, Celtic didn't really show up again. And for all the talk before it, I think there was one before it saying they were going to destroy us or some nonsense. Aye, good one, pal.
I mean, see that as well, the canter and the arrogance and the kind of delusional stuff. And see as well what you said there was like Celtic didn't really show up. Rangers didn't allow them to show up, and like there's too much of like particularly in Celtic support, which I'm not going to complain about, because if they want to be kind of like delusional or arrogant and think that it's more about them, it suits us. But Rangers didn't allow them to show up.
Well, I've no issue with hubris of Celtic fans. It was some of the newspaper columns before that. There was one in the Daily Record for Michael Gannon saying that if Rangers played at Hampden at the start of the month, they would get destroyed. Like, really? Destroyed?
Nah.
Rangers played a largely similar game yesterday and got more or less the same result, same result for a different outcome.
Well, probably then just look to go through it in some sort of order. There was plenty that happened, obviously, across the 90 minutes. So just opening stages, we know at Hampden, basically Rangers flew out the blocks, had a few early corners and that sort of stuff, put the pressure on. How did you feel it was yesterday?
I mean, like, right from the off, I thought that we looked more composed than them. I thought the first kind of 20 minutes was a little bit frenetic, as it always kind of is an Old Firm day, and I think there was a few kind of like, I mean, Ryan Jack they come in and end up getting like a corner from it. They had to like save from Goldson, and that's actually where the penalty came from as well. But there was a few kind of slap passes and stuff. But I think Rangers looked composed, and I think it was just about building ourselves into the match. I think from the overwhelming majority of that opening period was played in Celtic's half, and without creating anything too completely clear cut, it kind of set the tone for the rest of the match.
I think so, and then obviously leading on to that, as you've already touched on, so largely dominated the opening spell. So then it was a case of, oh no, what's happening here, when Kevin Clancy pointed the spot on Nico Katic. So there was fans on both sides, basically, when Clancy was appointed beforehand, were all suggesting that doom was impending if he was going to be making the decisions on the day. And what did you think of the penalty to start off with?
Right, with the letter of the law, he got the penalty spot on, and I have no complaints at that. However, if he's going to pull that as a penalty, brilliant. I expect to see 8, 9, 10 penalties out there. There should have been 8, 9, 10 penalties yesterday, if that's what meets the bar for a penalty for Kevin Clancy. I think what made it probably a wee bit more galling as well was the fact that the shot pull with Katic, Julian breaks away from him, gets up. It didn't actually influence anything. There was no, like, he didn't pull his shirt and stop him from getting up for the ball. He didn't pull his shirt and take him off his feet. He pulled his shirt and nothing happened.
I thought it was like a level of surprise from Julian that had been given, and he went like that, as if he was like justified afterwards. But there was a level of surprise there. But I mean, Clancy I think was it a retake or something as well? I can't remember. But he was like he was like looking at it from the entire thing, and he was like he was going to give it if he'd seen the shot pull, and he'd seen it, and it was like he'd already kind of made the decision before the ball was played, which kind of cheesed me off a wee bit because you go up and you say something if there's shot pulling and that, and you see that kind of routinely from referees, but he was just kind of waiting for it to happen, knew it was going to happen and blew the whistle.
I think if you go back, I don't know if it's the same in the replays, if it's been touched up or what, but at least in the live feed, when he first points to the spot, there's like a kind of just a wee minute of silence where he's like, what the fuck's going on
What's
here?
he giving it for? Yeah.
He gave 2 yellow cards as well, did he?
Yes.
I don't know. The commentary says that. They said
Yeah,
that he gave 2 yellow cards. I think one to Katic and one to Scott Brown allegedly. I don't actually know who's the second yellow card for.
He brandished too, but I don't know.
They never really kind of cleared up who it was.
It was Katic and somebody else. I don't know who else he gave it to, but it was just a bit of a mess. See, to be honest, at that point, I was like, oh no, here we go again, because we'd started so well. We looked comfortable. There was some great little bits of play from Rangers in that opening period, like the wee Morelos back heel, like the sweeping from left to right, and it was like just zigzagging across the pitch. We looked so impressive, but when we got that penalty, man, my heart sank a little bit. I was like, oh no, this is just the same old story yet again. We've been done a little bit here, and then it's going to be so hard to come back from 1-0 down at Celtic Park. But up steps
Griggsy. Was there any doubt?
What a save, by the way! What a
Was
save.
it a cracking save?
I'll give Christie's due. It was a really, really good penalty, and he'll feel quite pissed off.
As well, he's supposedly Celtic's best player, still not scored against Rangers.
We'll see after the game as well. Chris Commons is on the punditing on Sky Sports saying that it's the height that's helped McGregor there, and it's not great, and what Ryan will be doing is he'll be going away and practicing hitting his penalties along the deck and all this. I think it's going right in the corner, if not the side net.
He's hit it well,
plucked it. So I think he needs credit for that.
He connected with it really well.
So we've got a pen. So from potential disaster for Katic, then 5 minutes later we go up the other end. Big assist king Barisic picks it up on the left. We step over, lays it back.
That's some cross, by the way. See picking out Kent like that. That's a brilliant bit of vision and a really fantastic execution of that pass to Barisic.
I think there's like visions of Rangers fans across the country telling him to whip it in. You know what I mean? Like whip it in. Just get that in, get it.
I might have shouted it just before he passed that.
He's like Frimpong's backtracking. He's getting that little bit of space and. Oh, he was a beast yesterday, Barisic. But he's so composed. What a finish!
Kent loves it, doesn't he? Absolutely loves it. Like last year, beats a couple, sticks it in the corner, no sweat. This time, first time something falls to him, and you wouldn't say throughout his Rangers career, his finishing has been that great. It's let him down at times, but. What a finish. Whips it round Ayer and off the post. Forster, the unbeatable man, is just standing watching it cannon in off the post. So at that point...
He caught it so well, though. It was
flush.
a rasp of a hit. Yeah, he's like left foot. It was a left foot shot as well, yeah.
So goes in, jubilation, and you think Rangers might finally get what they deserve in an Old Firm game. And we'll go up the other end. Cal McGregor has a speculative dig, and Edouard gets a left hook out and sticks it in the bottom corner. Wrong foot's McGregor. What were the thoughts at that point?
I think, I don't think he meant it. Right? I don't think Edouard meant it. Yeah. But I mean,
doesn't matter.
Everybody's quoting the new laws and that. It had to be ruled out. There was no question of, oh no, it's accidentally hit his hand. Why he didn't rule it out? I don't know. You need to ask Kevin Clancy. You know what I mean? Seriously, he should be answerable to that. It was a ridiculous decision. It was a handball.
What does he think it hit?
What exactly?
In order to come off, then.
He's probably the same ilk as the Celtic club website. You said it hit his trailing leg. I mean, I had to have a laugh at that when I read. I seen that last night. It hit his trailing leg. I mean, I didn't ken many folk that's got 5 fingers in their leg, but it turns out Big Edward has.
Well, so a bit of a setback then going into the break, and I think
they were a wee bit rocky after that as well. Their fans got on their side. Now it was Celtic's best spell of the match.
And it was a bit wasn't it? A bit like just it's going to be the same old they don't deserve to be in this, but they are at half time, and how will Rangers respond? Which is a big question because Jared's obviously fired the guys up and said, look, you dominated the final but didn't get what you deserved, so go and do it again. I've dominated the first half. They've went in front, and then they robbed with another goal. But then, sweet Croatian Prince steps up from a corner. So Barisic again with an assist, cracking ball in, which is basically guaranteed.
Doing it all day.
Aye.
Yeah. And what about the header? Ronaldo-esque leap.
The big man teaches Ronaldo how to jump.
Something else, mate, and it was a bit of ire as well. The £25 million man. Do you know what I mean? Big cat. He wanted it so badly. You know, I loved afterwards, right? After he absolutely nails the header and big man celebrating like crazy. And then later on in the game, there's like this other header. And it's a little bit of a nothing header back in
The one when he gets, he then gets his own header.
he goes and tries to header it twice in a row. It was fantastic.
The same, there was one with Morelos, it was like that as well. It come for a throw. And he just hoored it right in his shoulder and fucking chased it. That's brilliant.
He plays with so much passion, big cat. It's like, and he loves it as well. I've seen him after the game. He's like, I don't want this moment to end. His brother was in the crowd and that. Like,
it was Gerrard's comments as well after. Did you see them? He was saying about how when Katic kind of has like an incident, like a penalty or a red or kind of something like that. Like, he never stays down. He's no one of these ones that kind of goes into his shell and kind of wallows in self-pity. And that's been a few times now. You've seen that with him at Rangers where he's done something that's cost a goal or it's been a penalty or whatever else, and then the big man just becomes a colossus after it.
It's good. I mean, that's top mentality. It's like, you know what I mean. It's a sign of the kind of player that we've got there and what he might become in the future. I mean, Gerrard said he's a future Croatian international. I mean, he loves it here as well. Signed a new contract. So I don't know. Would you now say they two are the centre back pairing?
I don't know. It's a real strange one because at the start of the season you think they've signed Hollander, but he's not going to get in the team. Then he does well and had a few. I would say it's going to be up for grabs probably after the winter break.
I know I'd said earlier in the season I expected to see a bit more rotation between the three, and I'm probably just at the risk of repeating myself here and would maybe expect to see a bit more like now after winter. Now that you can see that wee bit more trust in Katic and he's put the performance he's in.
He delivered.
And even for Hellander's perspective, it's hard to say that he's no really kind of held up his side of the bargain either. So it's difficult to see. And even Goldson's come in for a lot of stuff.
Pass yesterday.
He was amazing.
He loved that.
No, it's so good, man. No, it's like it was phenomenal. He was unbelievable yesterday. You're right, James. He was deadly. He kept Edward quiet the entire game, and he didn't take risks, and he was a solid, dependable force, and he has been throughout his Rangers career.
So we'll just move on then to the closing stages, where I think everyone was pacing around, waiting for hoping that nothing was gonna come and ruin the day at the last minute. And was pretty frantic, bit of back and forth. Celtic had a bit of a go.
Yeah.
At times, a couple of things flashed across the area.
I think what you've seen in that last kind of 20 minutes was Rangers' kind of discipline and how they won the game tactically and how they'd set up with the midfielders moving with the fullbacks and stuff. And I think it was just a total empty in the tank performance that last 20 minutes, and the players ran their socks off. And there were some nervous moments, like you're saying, but they kept the shape, they kept running, they dug in, and every one of them to a man deserves a pat on the back for how they coped with that in the last 20 minutes, because you're playing at Celtic Park as well, and you've only got 800 Rangers fans there with you, and they handled it immensely well, and they came away with 3 points. You know,
it felt a bit similar to the end of this game last year. Kind of just seen like the emptying of the tank thing, and you seen that last year when they kind of were on the brink of getting that first win against them in the league for a while. That it was balls to the wall and everything was on the line for them. And I think having the winter break coming up probably helped with that. The players know they could probably push that wee bit harder, run that wee bit further, but they're going to have a couple of weeks at the other side of it where and they can recharge their batteries, catch their breath, and get ready to go for the second part of the campaign.
It's interesting that you say that when you consider what the Celtic manager was saying after the game and that about them being knackered and stuff. You know what I mean?
Just a cop out. I've read
it's
that a lot.
It's always about
Celtic's
steel mentality and all that, and then they're sitting saying that they're a little bit fatigued and knackered, and then we're sitting praising Rangers for, despite the hectic schedule, emptying the tank, and what Celtic couldn't achieve that yesterday.
Well, that's, I think, probably what we're going to take from this. You know, we had a positive, as you say, this time last year, we had a really positive result, and then it went to pot after the break. Do you think this is now a genuine challenge for Celtic? This is now a test of what do you have?
I think they know that. You can tell by the reaction from the supporters and stuff. It's hard. We need to come back and need to prove that we're not going to get caught cold, and I mean, that's quite a good term considering last season the Cowdenbeath game was kind of frozen off, and we got caught with that. I think Gerrard said in a press conference a few weeks ago that they're going to play a friendly in Dubai to get ready for
Hamburg.
And I mean, I think we'll learn from that mistake. I think we'll come back stronger, and I think they know that as well. I think you've seen that all season, the way that Celtic have performed, because Celtic have been good all season. They've been very strong all season. So
well, that's the team. But that's the thing. Both teams have barely dropped any points. Rangers lost once at home, drawn twice away. That's it. And they're, if they win the game in hand, they're actually ahead. So what do you think? Confident going forward, league-wise?
Absolutely.
That's it.
I think as it stands, Rangers are kind of on course for a 100-plus point season, which in itself is just remarkable. Incredible. You look where we've been the last couple of years, and even the last 2 months or so, you look at some of the results that we've had, like away at Pataudry, when everything was going swimmingly, and then it all turned to shit in the space of 5 minutes. This is now a huge opportunity for these guys to really put a marker in and show that they've got that bit of steel that's needed. But I think yesterday shows that they've got much more of it than people give them credit for.
We'll need to do it the first couple of games without Morelos as well. After that, I mean, he should have just shot.
No, he should have finished.
I was saying that had we visions of the ball trundling underneath Fraser Foster, like the kind of most rubbish goal ever, rolls over the line, doesn't even touch the back of the net, and that. And it was foolish to go down. He gave Clancy an excuse, and he was waiting for one.
He was dying for an excuse.
But overall, hugely positive. Hopefully, a turning point.
I mean, and You look at it with the way that Celtic have reacted and the way that their supporters have reacted and how well we've played against them, and you're talking about the consistency that Rangers have achieved and the consistency that Celtic have achieved. It might come down to the Old Firm matches, and you've got to fancy us in that next one. And
I think you do, yeah.
I mean, it's difficult to see how Celtic are going to be able to find out a system, because I think we found out theirs, and we play well against them. The fear factor is now reversed. It'll be interesting to see how they come to Ibrox in March, but it might come down to the Old Firm games, and we managed to beat them at Celtic Park.
Okay, but what we're saying is the worm's turned.
Oh, very much so.
It feels that way.
55 is coming.